welcome to Talking Comics, where we are bagged, boarded, and pre-recorded. I'm Ryan.
I'm Sean.
Thank you guys for tuning in once again. 2 Talking Comics in like the span of a month. That's been a while since we've done that, although this will be coming out on April 1st. It's not a joke. Don't worry about it. The only joke is Sean and I. So we have some Marvel list topics.
Yes.
Bad puns. You can only get them here. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and I can't remember what the pun was, but it was really bad. Just really bad.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and it was shortly after me getting fired and having to get rehired at Roadrunner, and he's like, well, I'm glad you're able to keep your spirits up. And I'm like, I will always have bad puns. Give me bad puns or give me death. Screw freedom. I just want my bad puns.
Yeah,
if I can put that in the Constitution.
It's like in the fine print.
So before we get started. So I come over to start recording, and Sean is having a little mechanical issue.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Oh, you're telling this story.
I have to tell it because it's so very rare that, you have a moment this cool.
Yeah, on your part, it's par for the course. I mean, if you guys are listening, it's just another Sean story.
Like when you go into the shop and he's trying to check prices of cards with that fancy app and it's not working. It's similar to that. Stuff wasn't working out for him.
I swear it works when no one's around.
So I come in and he's doing some dishes, cleaning up, and the garbage disposal is going. And he goes to shut it off and it won't shut off. It's still going. He's like, can't I just go one day without something bad happening?
Or just the story. I mean,
yeah.
It's like, apparently not. Because here we are.
And, first thing I said, do you think I should put my hand in it?
Go ahead.
So he's flipping the switch a couple of times, not getting it to work. And I just kind of walk over to the switch and I give it a couple of little tapparoonies.
Tapparoo.
That just made this a whole lot funnier to me, and you'll see why. And then after I tapped it, I switched it down and it shut off. I Fonzed it. And you know where the Fonz always is? Adam Sandler movies. Oh. Just give it tapparoo.
Well, I've told you, I mean, this is perfect too because I consider Fonzie as the first mutant. Not Apocalypse, Fonzie. Look, if you're like me, you grew up watching Happy Days, okay? He had mind control over women. He had control over machinery and electronics. And he was the first one that I ever saw to battle an alien. Mork from Ork. Robin Williams. And win.
Ooh, nano.
Exactly. Fonzie was the first mutant. And he had a catchphrase and everything, like, hey bub, hey, like they all have
yeah, after I get it to shut off, Sean looks at me. Hey! If only that would have worked on your old cash register.
Oh yeah.
Although that worked out for the best. Your new register is much better.
Josh is still touching it.
Yeah, so we have some Marvel stuff to talk about. We talked a little bit about it in our last Talking Comics, I was prepared to leave it there. But all right, so let me just outright say what we're talking about. The Iron Fist Netflix show. I was fine with what we said last time. I was like, you know what? That's probably enough information for us to really give about Iron Fist. But
to be fair, you and I both at that time had not finished it.
Yeah, we hadn't even really started it at the time we recorded.
Yeah, we were speculating. You're right.
Yeah, I was
just even started.
Yeah, I was just giving information so people knew who and what Danny Rand and the Iron Fist were. And I was perfectly fine with leaving it mostly, left to that. But there's so much crap on the internet about it. Oh my god! Every time I open up my Google app, it's just critics shitting all over Iron Fist.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't.
Evidently, I avoided. I always avoid critic reviews because I don't get any useful information out of them. This isn't really a critic review. We're just two jackasses in a room talking about it.
Yeah, folks.
And who do you like?
If nobody sets out to make a bad show,
Yeah.
or a bad movie,
Well,
my bar is very low. Okay, I'm going to say a few things about this. That being said, Ryan and I are just happy that there is an Iron Fist that exists because a year ago at this time, there was no Iron Fist on TV. There was no this, and I did Birds of Prey, so my bar is very low. So whatever I say that
talk about negative critic reviews.
anything that comes across negative, please don't take it that way. It's just here's what I would have done type thing.
Well, outright, before we even get started, I say overall, I liked it.
Yeah.
Overall, I liked it. There were a couple of things. I mean, you heard a couple of my things that I would have done, like, before I even watched it, the way I would have done, like, the dragon symbol.
Here's what I say. Before we go into things, like, was it horrible?
No.
Was it great?
No.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't great.
Wasn't horrible.
I mean, critics have just been, like, shitting all over it, and people are like, oh, another whitewash Marvel character.
What is that?
I think
is that
people
whitewash
are
because he's
white.
Caucasian?
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about that on a podcast before, which I thought. Remember, I made you have a good opportunity.
Yeah, they could have used an Asian American actor.
So at that same time, I don't. That's what that means, whitewash.
I think that's what most people are implying when they say it.
So
I don't really know for sure because I haven't been reading what people have said.
With TV and everything, how we have to do this and shove it down everybody's throat and everything.
Yeah.
So is there a blackout?
I guess.
I mean, all that aside, I'm not even going to touch any of that. But I know.
One of the things I saw is that a lot of critics went into this with a negative mindset because they are coming off of the Great Wall, that Matt Damon movie, and Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
Which is a anime that's been a very popular anime, been out for years and years and years, and they got Scarlett Johansson to play the main character.
Is she naked?
Ish. She's wearing like a bodysuit thing.
From the neck up.
See, actually, in the anime...
Because Ghost in the Shell, she's not... Yeah. From the neck up, it's... Yeah, and everything
in
else
the anime...
Yeah.
So, like, they have the main character in Ghost in the Shell. She has, like, this invisibility thing because she's, like, a cyborg. But in order for it to work, she has to take off all her clothes.
She's like a Tony Stark that just can't get out of the suit. Kind of, sort
So
of.
she has to get completely naked to turn invisible.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I was like, huh? Scarlett Johansson completely? No. But, so people, they went into this like, oh, fucking Asian-centric movie without Asians in it. And the thing about Iron Fist is he was already white. Mm-hmm. Get over it. But that said, probably would have went a little better if they actually used an Asian American actor that already knew martial arts and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm not even going to delve too much on that, too. Because
you already know, like, we've talked a little bit, maybe not on a podcast, but you may have heard us at the shop or something. I don't know. I know for a fact Sean and I have talked about this before.
Because, I don't know about anybody listening, but I've read a few Iron Fist comics. I grew up, as it's been well documented, in the 70s Kung Fu craze, and the Kung Fu movies and everything.
I'm a huge Kung Fu movie fan.
You were a huge Iron Fist fan. More so than me. Well, I mean, you're...
The funny thing is, I haven't even actually read an Iron Fist comic.
But you're in the know.
But because I love Kung Fu, I'm like, he channels his chi, and he knows, like, every martial arts ever. That's the coolest superhero ever.
See, folks, Ryan just outed me. I just enjoy his feng shui. I never read an Iron Fist comic, but
All he knows is that Danny Rand is hung far low.
All right. Anyway, I do have a couple of, after watching it and going back and watching it, certain episodes again, I do have a few things that I would like to, bullet points, just stuff that, now again, I'm not bashing anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the obvious thing like what Ryan just said about the whole internet. Oh, we should have done this because we already talked about it way before the internet.
Yeah.
I feel pretty proud of that. Okay. And this is from a writer's point of view.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, keep in mind, I did do Birds of Prey, so.
So take it with a grain of salt.
Actually, that's, yeah, the fake organic salt.
Extra coarse.
Yeah. I had a hard time with where everything was going and what didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like Danny Rand. First of all, first 6 episodes, it's like, I'm Danny Rand. I don't believe you. I'm Danny Rand. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Did we really need to?
Yeah, that was.
We spent way too much time. I just felt they spent a lot of time on that.
Now that I really think about it, I definitely agree with you on that. They wasted a lot of episodes doing that. They could have cleared that out in the first 3 episodes. Have an hour-long episode.
Yeah, you can play with it. You got 13 hours to do that. That character, in my opinion, and again, very underdeveloped. Like, they teased a lot of background. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, he's back after 15 years. Back from where? What happened to him? Why is he back? Mm-hmm. Why does he want to be head of the corporation? Why does he want? Yeah. And there was nothing. It's like there was no payoff. It's like you had surface level struggle with this character, mm-hmm. but there was no deeper, context. You weren't peeling the layers of the onion back. Yeah. There was never. I was waiting and waiting, and there was nothing. And that just, it's like, all right, throw a rock. You can find a better writer than me, but it was like just poor writing.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that comes. That's I always say it no matter what it comes down to, people are always blaming the actors, and
no,
it's the writing.
I will give you this though. I'm the last person to body shame. Well, that motherfucker needed a sandwich or something.
Yeah, he was looking a little thin.
I don't remember Danny Rand being that skinny. He was like a losing game of Hangman. It's like, but again, the character really doesn't need to be like all muscly and everything. Yeah. He's got the iron fist. So mm-hmm. But
I mean, if Finn Jones ever hears this, I mean, but at this point they already have Defenders filmed all the way out. Work on a little extra toning, maybe make those muscles pop a little bit more. A little extra protein.
I thought he needed maybe 2 sandwiches. He was great though. I thought
he's a solid actor. I mean, wasn't he in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't suck as an actor if you were in Game of Thrones.
I think he was the. See, again, I don't know if I know I've talked about it before. I don't know on here, but I love Game of Thrones, but I don't know anybody's name. I think he was the guy, if I remember right. Motherfucker got his dick cut off. Oh, still battled on.
So that's the real reason he was celibate all those years. Yeah. It's not because he didn't want to. It's because he couldn't.
Exactly. He's about as anatomically correct as a Ken doll.
As a kung fu martial arts fan,
yes.
One of my problems was the cutaways for the moves that he was doing,
the choreograph, the fighting,
and as a comic book fan / kung fu fan, the Iron Fist is a master of all martial arts, mm-hmm. not just Chinese kung fu.
Now, did you pick up the fact that maybe, again, we don't know because there was no backstory, but he had left prematurely and he was learning still how to be the Iron
Yes,
Fist?
yeah, I totally picked up on that.
Okay. So maybe he doesn't like this the self healing scene or the healing scene with
Yeah.
what's her name? Oh God,
The
we'll
banging
I'll
hot,
get-
the banging hot Asian chick
with tits and the one that
and a back,
we'll get to her,
front and back, everybody, front and back.
which is also another Game of Thrones alumni.
She is?
Oh yeah.
Huh. Evidently, she almost turned down the role.
But that's what I was saying. Lack of origin. I mean, I found it hard to understand, like, at times. Like, I put myself in the shoes of someone who is not familiar with Danny Rand or Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I just love the fact that I'm watching a show that they just keep saying Danny Rand. I'm like, oh, shit. Which I'll get to. It's a good thing for me, but also I could turn it into a negative because this character, to me, showed, like, the fluctuation between, like, he had some wisdom. Like, he was supposed to be, like, had this. But then, motherfucker was just dumb as a rock at some times.
Yeah.
And a flat-out asshole. Like a pouty kid.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
like,
like-
I understand why they chose to write the character that way. And, like, they're like, so, his 10-year-old... excuse me. This 10-year-old got adopted by monks and trained to do one thing his entire life and never matured.
That's what I'm saying. If they would have shown it, like that old, like we were talking about earlier. I was a huge fan of the show in the 70s called Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. If they would have shown flashbacks and just little things like what you just said right there, it would have made it so much better and so much more clear.
I mean, all they really showed was the only flashback they really showed was him getting the crap beat out of him with sticks because he didn't do something right.
Yeah, no, well, that was training.
Well, remember he said, and if you failed, punishment was beating or something like that.
And if you advanced, then it was the next gruesome,
yeah.
grueling training session, right? And and the choreography on the fighting, a little too cutty.
Yeah, it was all right at the early stages, like when he got attacked by the guards outside of the dojo. That was all right. Like that first scene.
You know what was dope? Is Marvel Netflix loves their hallway fight scenes.
Oh, yes.
What about the Chinese triad?
Yeah.
The axes in the hall.
I was like, oh shit, we're only 5 episodes in and we got a hallway fight scene.
We got a hallway fight scene.
They always have to get it 5 to 6 episodes in.
But I tell you, man, again, loved everybody. Everybody put forth great effort, but just too much cutaway.
Yeah.
It's like, it took me back, Taken, 46 different edits
Yeah.
to get Liam Neeson over the fence.
Yeah, so one of the YouTube channels I subscribe to is called Game Attack, and one of the people on there is a huge action movie fan, and one of his favorite action movies is John Wick because of the way they cut their fight scenes together.
Exactly.
They cut it with the impact instead of after the impact. Because like the movie we were just talking about, Taken and Jason Bourne, they show him go for the swing and they cut to after he hit them. No, you cut when they do the impact.
Exactly.
And I'm really surprised they weren't able to do that because Netflix has been super great with their filming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like everything else about this
is-
movie was filmed very well.
This is like, I feel shame just talking anything remotely negative sounding about. But think about, now what I'm going to do here is compare now. Because, like you said, those critics were going in watching the other things and they went in with shitty attitudes towards it. Well, I'm not shitty about it, but I went in watching, like, old kung fu theater, and most recently Into the Badlands.
Yeah.
Dude, if they would have got the people, they should hire the fight choreography for those guys, or what is it, IP Man?
Yeah.
Dude, if they would have got those guys, that would have been a whole different series.
Yeah. It
You know
would
what I
have.
mean? And then you would have seen Finn Jones all cut and, I'm eating 20 sandwiches. Exactly.
Wow.
But and which leads me to the next thing. My next bullet point is, you and I both knew they weren't doing the costume.
Yeah, they never do. They never really do the costume in season 1.
But check it out though. It's like if Danny finding himself, which he didn't bring us along for the ride, which is my first problem. Should include a suit. Sooner than later, because you put on that suit and they can do it. I don't care what anybody says, they can do that suit.
Yeah.
And then you can put a guy in there and you can have you can shoot those scenes totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like
That's like Daredevil. Do you think that actor knows how to do those things? I mean, I'd be very, very impressed if he did.
But you go back to the season 1,
but he always had a mask.
Exactly.
So they were able to cover his face and they could put that on someone else, and they can do all those crazy flips and stuff.
That one continuous cut, that one continuous shot that never cut. If you remember, you go back and watch that first hallway scene, which was like, oh, I was like, holy shit! Remember, I'm like, Ryan, did you see that? Did you see that? This might come as
So, like I said before, in the other one was like, now that I think about it more, if they can manage like a way to put some eyes on it, because I was thinking it wouldn't work earlier, but now that I think about Daredevil, I mean, his was just a bandana around his face. If they can find a way to put eye holes in that look good, then Danny Rand will have his mask.
instead of a bandana. What about like a sash, like a leather, but. And like how Daredevil has like the reflective, the deep, you don't even see him a lot of times, but then when the light hits it, it's like a reflective, like you said, the sunglass red.
Yeah.
What if they do like a deep green type thing with the leather?
That'd be pretty cool.
You can even CG it on.
All I really care about is that they go with the more modern suit, though.
Yeah, more practical.
Because in like the more modern comics, he's basically wearing a Bruce Lee jumpsuit. I keep going back to that.
Yeah.
That's the best suit. We do not need that belly button deep V.
I'm going. I knew you were going to say that because I'm going back to that because like deep cuts at me as the Heroes for Hire fan.
Yeah.
Damn, I look like a runaway slave. Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like
they fed us that. Well, you saw it in the film. It was like a 40s but the motherfucker rocking 2 Iron Fists. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's a full Iron Fist.
yeah.
They did the suit.
Yeah.
You saw it, but it was black and white, granted, but you saw it.
Yeah, it kind of looked. The suit that he was wearing in that, probably because it was black and white, was because like it looked like the Daredevil's first suit,
first season,
except with a kung fu belt coming off of it that was all wavy and shit.
You can do that. You can do that. They could totally do that.
And I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. The ending, a little anticlimactic.
Okay, I got something
A
else.
little anticlimactic. So every one of these shows thus far has left me wanting more, of course, which is a good thing, but also kind of annoying because you're like, when's the next part coming out? I need to see it now.
As you well know, I'm still trying to my season 2 Daredevil boner has still not gone down ever since Punisher.
Yeah,
Go get him, Red.
But just the way they ended it was just like.
Is there another episode?
Yeah, like go back to Luke Cage. Like they ended it with him having to go back to prison.
Yeah.
And of course that leads you like, what's he gonna do after? But it left me without an idea of what's happening. They get where they're going, and I don't want to spoil the ending completely. So because it's only been out like 2 weeks.
That's spoilers, dude. Come on, Netflix people. But, I mean, with all the other ones that we've talked about, don't you think... I mean, it almost
Also-
begs to say it's like, oh, we're doing Defenders. Because remember they did the Defenders trailer before Iron Fist.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, we forgot one, and they just crammed this story in.
Yeah, that is how it feels. You know, so do you remember how much more time Luke Cage had to spend in prison at the end of that?
Oh.
Did they say?
No, but I'm revisiting right now.
Like-
I'm almost there.
Like,
I'm such a junkie.
if they could have just manipulated the timeline a little bit,
Yeah.
I would have ended it a little different. With him, like, instead of ending it in the mountains like they did, end it in the city with him walking around kind of confused as to what he should do with himself. Like keep the mountain thing. But instead of that being the very end, have him just, like, walking, like, kind of forlorn, like, confused, and then he sees a little shop kind of stowed away.
Yes.
He doesn't realize he's walked into Harlem.
Yes.
And a sign says, "Heroes for hire.
Yes.
Help wanted."
Holy shit. It's the disheveled, broken down, shot up, blown up
Barbershop.
Pop's Barbershop.
But now the window says, "Hero for hire."
Like how they did at the end of Luke Cage, which, nice segue. She took the ticket off and it's Colleen Wing's dojo.
Mm-hmm.
And she grabbed the thing, which, here we go. This is going to shock you.
Yes.
Here's another bullet
I'm
point.
prepared to be shocked.
I thought there was too much Claire. And you know how much I love me some Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, they did play. They played her out in this one as much as they played her in season 1. Actually, probably a little bit more than they played her in season 1 of Daredevil.
Not to mention the fact that I love... I mean, put aside the fact that Rosario Dawson, I'm a huge fan. Anything she's in, I will watch. She chews the scenery. She is a fucking great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Anything she's in, she's got my vote for anything.
Yeah.
She's hot. I like seeing her next to, what's her name? Jessica Henwick.
Yeah.
Oh. My
My
wife never got that. But let me ask you something. Story-wise, why is she the voice of reason as opposed to Danny Rand?
Yeah, that's true.
Which goes back to the poor writing. It's like, is he an asshole? Is he a fucking, stupid idiot?
The best moments in the show were where he is the Danny Rand I've always been familiar with.
Yeah.
Through what little comic stuff I've read about. I haven't really read any of the comics. But, like, Ultimate Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He was that zen voice of reason. It was always breaking up the fights in the group. That's what he does. And he's kind of an ass the whole time.
Yeah.
And then, like, there were the moments where, like he would be doing it, like, when he stayed the night at the dojo and she wanted him gone, and the next morning he's, like, doing his thing, and he's kind of being a charming smart ass.
Yeah.
I love that. But then, like, next day he's a rich person again, and he smacks the guy with a
why?
bamboo stick.
But why? Why did he come back? Why did he want to be head of corporation? Why? I mean, I understand the fact that he's the Iron Fist and he needs to crush the hand.
Yeah.
No matter where they're at. I get that part. But they didn't answer anything. It's like, why did he come back?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, and why? We saw at the end, like you just said, time. Where's the time frame on that? Because you saw Rosario Dawson, Claire, take the ticket, and you saw her snippets here and there training with Colleen Wing.
Yeah.
To the point where she's got the dragon claws and she's hanging with ninjas from the hand?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, Luke's got to be out by now, right? If she's got enough training.
Dude, I found that was if one thing I would say negative, and I said I wouldn't say anything. I had a hard time watching her with Danny Rand and Colleen Wing fighting hand ninjas and hanging with them. I'm like, come on.
I mean, Colleen did say, you're like my best student, but come on. The hand are, well-trained assassons.
Dude, come on.
She's a night nurse that's been taking karate lessons.
Exactly. Yeah, now she's rocking the hand claws and everything. You know what's badass, though, on a side note? I did like the little Easter eggs, including drunken monkey guy.
Yeah.
I remember him from the comics.
See,
He has to be drunk because
Yeah.
if he's stone cold sober, he has no power, no ability whatsoever.
what agitated me, that was another one of the things about the Iron Fist that only knows Chinese Kung Fu. Mm-hmm. And evidently not very much, because he doesn't know how to fight drunken style. That is like one of the core... I'm sure 80% of the people listening right now have seen at least one of the various versions of Drunken Master.
Yeah.
I wish...
I do it in the nude in my living room.
Drunken Master is one of my all-time favorite, and I can't even pick one over the other. Both the Jackie Chan ones are awesome movies. I'm pissed that they're not on Netflix anymore. I do prefer the original one a little bit over, because it showed a lot more, because it showed his training.
Yeah.
Which
Him
is-
and Chow Yun Fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a master of all martial arts, every single one.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, maybe we shouldn't get frustrated. It's like, folks, we're not pooping on anything. And if all the hate towards this goes, and we want this to be good.
Yeah.
We were like,
We think it's good. We don't think it's great, but
Yeah.
we think it's good.
but I think that's what I was saying. Is like, what do you? I think he left. Again, it goes back to there should have been flashbacks. Mm-hmm. Because he's not the Iron... he's the Iron Fist, but he left before he mastered everything.
Well, the
Fucking dude had to show him how to re-energize his chi.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, from what I understand about Iron Fist, he has to complete all of his training in order to face Xiao Lao.
I don't think he did. That's the thing. That's where they're going on this,
Well,
right?
now that you say that, and I think about it, like, his buddy finds him in front of the cave, and he was like looking for him, like he didn't know where he was. And he just was like, "I'll go check by the cave."
See, there were little things that I'm like, oh man, because I'm like, I don't know where this show is going.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
And after watching the show and learning a little bit more about Iron Fist, I do not want to be the Iron Fist, because his job title, like, his job description sucks. So basically, we need you to stand here and guard this for the rest of your life, even though it's only open every 15 years.
Like, at least, what's his name? Asgard. Idris Elba. Oh, fuck, what's the character's name? I
always just call him the gatekeeper.
Dude, at least he can do it at will.
Yeah.
You just stand here and guard. And then listen to Thor's bullshit every once in a while. You're like a nanny with Thor. Are you sneaking out again? Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay. But here's another thing that might sound a little negative. As far as character development and writing goes, it should have been called The Meachums, featuring Danny Rand. Because I'm telling you right now, Ward Meachum was probably the best developed character.
Yeah.
He started out... I'm like, this is cheesy. He's like the must... Yeah, see? Yeah. He's like the must...
Damn you, Dudley Do-Right.
Exactly. He's like the mustache twirling bad guy.
Yeah, and it turns out, like,
He was
then you
great.
find out he wasn't the mustache twirling bad guy.
Well, but he had a story.
Yeah.
Joy Meachum had a story. Those two were great. I was more compelled with them. It's like... We spent a lot of time in some fucked up insane asylum with Danny.
Yeah.
Real quick with Ward. It's like he wound up in there, boom. Story moves on. It's like, why aren't we doing this with Danny?
Yeah. Sometimes I was a little annoyed by how much they focused on the Meachums. But I did, like, when they started out, I was like, oh, that's different. In the comics, his partner Meachum killed their parents, and we find out later on that was the case in the show as well. But I was like, so instead of coming to get revenge for his parents' death by killing his dad's business partner, he finds out his dad's business partner's kids are running the company now. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting twist. And then it's like, oh, he wasn't dead at all. And I thought that was kind of cool and interesting. He was manipulating everything from behind the scenes, but I feel like they focused a little too much on them, which is part of the reason.
That's what I was saying. To the point where when we could have had, and I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but like the flashbacks
Yeah.
of Kunlun, we could have, instead they went with board meetings without Danny Rand. It's like
Yeah, like that would have been.
way too many board meetings, way too many you're not Danny Rand.
Yeah.
We spent way too much time in
Trying
the
to
insane asylum. And,
Yeah.
I mean, there was that whole episode, what was it, episode 3 or 4, where he didn't do anything but strapped to a bed and he was drugged up and they were just talking to him.
Yeah.
There was nothing. It's like... Okay, on a positive note, I have one more thing. Jessica Henwick, giggity, 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 and 8 kinds of awesome in
Yeah.
the show. Colleen Wing.
Yeah, she was.
Dude, no, forget all that. Ward Meacham, Colleen Wing. I was saving the best for last.
Yeah.
Those two were the breakout characters. If they were just doing this as fodder to like, okay, here's Danny, like a quick fucking Band-Aid. Remember I was saying earlier? It's like, oh, we're doing the Defenders. Oh, shit, we forgot one. Let's quick make a series.
Yeah.
If they did that and they wanted to springboard Daughters of the Dragon, remember the underground fighting?
Yeah.
Oh my god. She said Daughter of the Dragon. But I looked up the IMBD thing and everything, the cast, and it showed Rosario Dawson, 6 episodes. Okay. And it showed, what's her name? Misty Knight, 1 episode. I saw no Misty Knight.
Yeah.
Where was Misty Knight? Daughters of the Dragon. They need their own show. Mm-hmm. I want to see Daughters of the Dragon Netflix series. Oh,
I'm not very familiar with them.
they are. It's fucking Batman and Robinette. Misty Knight with the fucking arm, which we haven't seen yet, and Colleen Wing. They're together.
Right on.
Yeah, doing shit and Defenders. You know, they join. You know, crossover, do this, do that. But it's like.
There was this scene where they cut to something I can't remember, and I saw a train. I was like, I wonder if that's the train to Queens.
So we can see some Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So if that was the intent to maybe bolster her
Yeah.
and springboard her off this for, you know, it's like they did great with her. Where was Misty Knight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One thing I'll say also is once again they really did a really good job with the soundtrack.
Are you? Yes. Yes.
I really like-
Let's talk about that.
I kind of wish one thing, since, you know, Danny got lost 10 years ago, maybe if he had a little older music on his iPod.
I love it how it's off-putting and awkward. How that's what he does. I mean, to the point where it wakes her up. She's like, "What the fuck?"
He's doing like these smooth,
I know.
meditating kung fu moves, listening to rap music.
Those made up for everything that I'm like. Well,
You know what song I wish they would have played? Like, just be like, oh, this new song just came out, and they play it, and it's the Power Man song from the from Luke Cage, done by Method Man.
That's what I was saying. Like, where's some fucking Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
Because that would have been thrown back to that little cameo.
Hey, at least they didn't play any fucking Tech 9.
Oh, that would have been even better. I'd have been like, booyah!
No, I'm not here to play Magic, Sean. Right, so
Tell the story.
So I, right after we recorded our last episode, I went to work the next day, and I was wearing my Iron Fist hat. And before I started my shift, I took a picture and I uploaded it to Facebook. I said, hopefully now that the Iron Fist series has come out on Netflix, people will stop confusing this for a Tech 9 hat. Because evidently, even though Iron Fist has been out since the 80s, Tech 9 thought it was okay to use a dragon as his fucking symbol.
No, his strange music.
I don't listen to Tech 9, so...
Well, Tech 9 is fucking cool guy. Got some good songs. But strange music, the logo, very reminiscent of the Iron Fist logo.
Yeah.
So if you Google Iron Fist logo and then strange music logo. Tech 9. You'll see what I'm talking about,
They're
folks.
very similar,
Yeah.
which is annoying. Because people are like, oh, you like Tech 9? No?
The biggest Tech 9 fan that I know is the M in S&M. And I'm pretty sure he commented on it. There's no such thing as a green Tech 9.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Matt, you've clarified everything.
And then he and Josh proceeded to make Tech 9 jokes. Josh was like, oh, cool Tech 9 hat. And then Matt was like, Shrek 9. And then Josh, Tech Slime.
Well, of course, everybody here, you know that. You know how this group works. We're going to defend you, but then we're going to fuck with you. Like the little brother. I expect the same in return.
You old bastard.
Yeah, it's like, nobody fucks with my friend except me. And then you punch him in the arm.
Hey, don't hit my friend.
It's almost right there with those parents in public. It's like when the little kid's playing with the neighbor kid, and they hit, and then you come up to him and smack him. We don't hit. What's going on?
We got way off topic there.
I know. So anyway, what I was saying is, after smacking kids and Ryan's green Tech 9 hat, I think more flashbacks of Shao Lao would have brought the helped the chi
Yes,
of the overall show.
I agree.
And that's all I got on that.
Yeah. Well, we still got a little time left.
I'm just saying, I'm just glad it's here.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
I don't... Dude, everybody brings the darkness. Everybody on the internet or podcasts and everything, they're always like shitting on everything.
Yeah.
This is the podcast where we're like, this is great. We love it. If you want to go listen to Hatred, go listen to those other guys. We love it because, like I said a year ago, Ryan and I, no Iron Fist.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as Iron Fist. We were talking about, I'm like, oh my god, I never really gave two craps about King Shark. Watch The Flash. Oh my god, what a wonderful world we live in. I'm watching King Shark on TV.
We have purposely avoided certain topics because we didn't want to shit all over them.
Yeah.
You know what movie we're talking about. We don't need to say it. And on that note...
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. But at the same time, I do understand that Iron Fist is a very, very obscure character to write for. And it's like, I'm not making excuses for the show.
Yeah.
Because another character that's even more obscure, Doctor Strange. And they did it.
Yeah.
They did it in 2 hours. You guys had 13 hours. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's
I'm on the
true.
fence. Doctor Strange ruled.
That's true. You know, they could have really, truly easily tied Doctor Strange in with that.
Oh. There's the Mystics. I think we'll get there.
I don't know how much
positive.
it costs to get Benedict Cumberbatch on something. I'm sure it's a lot. But maybe bolster your guys' budget a little and have him center Danny Rand's chi for the Defenders. Also, Doctor Strange is a founding member of the Defenders.
Yes. And you know how Benedict Cumberbatch always does his posters? His back is always to you. And then you got the Iron Fist right up your
I'll center your chi. So while we're still in New York, let's hop on that train I was talking about earlier. Head to Queens.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw the new trailer. Sean shared it on Facebook, and I watched it because it was there. All right. So also going back to what I said earlier with my Google app, you press that app, it uploads news stuff of interest that you have.
What's Google? No, I'm kidding.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
You're talking to me.
So every now and then I open it, usually to check the weather, and
I don't think at this point people know what we're talking about.
Hold on.
Okay.
And I see an article related to comic books. it is about the Spider-Man movie.
Thought you were going to say Josh from episode 13.
No.
Spider-Man. Fuck yes.
We're all super excited about it. We're all really pumped up. So I'm gonna bring everyone down a little bit. Whip.
Oh, sorry. Put my pants up.
I'm gonna bring us down a little bit.
Damn it.
Bring us back down to earth so we can enjoy it so much more when it comes out.
Do it. Do it.
So I saw this thing, and people I was talking about how everyone's so happy. The new trailer came out. It's so cool, but Sony, being Sony, only knowing how to run stuff for video games and not know how to run an entire media business. I'm gonna try and calm down a second.
This is where you lost me. I don't know about the video game thing. So this is
Sony PlayStation.
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but you have more insight than I do.
All right. So they do good.
I'm just there with the funny books.
So they have PlayStation, and evidently I didn't know until I found out they're the reason all the Spider-Man movies haven't been what I wanted these past years.
Oh yeah. Well, I knew that.
I didn't know that they had.
So I know
had
behind the scenes movie stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know they had the rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so I was reading this thing, and so we have Spider-Man: Homecoming, Infinity Wars, and Spider-Man: Homecoming 2. Yes, they're doing a Homecoming 2.
Working title.
Probably.
Please, working title.
And evidently, that is all Sony is willing to do working with Marvel. After that, they are taking their character back.
What?
They are, and they said something like it makes sense, but it's also stupid at the same time. That the article said that this is the only time they'll be working together with this character, essentially.
Okay.
So here's how I'm thinking it's going in the Sony media office for movies, or Sony Cinema, whatever they call it. Go back to that Snidely Whiplash bad guy.
Ward Meacham.
Ward Meacham. He's in the CEO room. Like, yeah, we're making so much money off Spider-Man Marvel. Yeah.
Ward Meacham's head of Sony.
We'll do 3 movies and then take our rights back. Yeah. Spider-Man will be popular again. Yeah. And then we'll make movies by ourselves. And then they're going to make movies by themselves. And they're going to bomb. Again. And they're going to realize, I guess we can't make any money off Spider-Man, but we don't want Marvel to have it. We're going to hold on to these rights. And they're going to put them in a closet and forget about it. And it's going to sit there gathering dust for a few years. And then Spider-Man will fall back into copyright limbo. And Marvel will get him back. And
my pants are down again.
Put those back on, goddammit.
Sorry.
And then Marvel will get it back, and we will finally have Marvel Cinema Spider-Man again.
And Tom Holland's old enough to play Uncle Ben. You know what I'm thinking right now when you just told that story? As fucked up as that was, I'm thinking of a little Sony Chihuahua humping a leg, and then I'm done, and then just trots away. It's like, what the
Like they were saying, there's only, in the article it was saying there's only so many Spider-Man movies we can make. There's an infinite number of Spider-Man movies you can make. They are literally continuing to make new stories every month.
It's funny you say that, good sir, because guess what? Sony announced that sometime in 2018, Spider-Man Homecoming is debuting July 7th of this year.
Yeah.
In 2018, they're doing an R-rated horror sci-fi action adventure movie called Venom.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That escalated
so is he going to
quickly.
show up in this movie? They're gonna do that? Is
They'll
it a step? Do you do Venom without Spider-Man? Do you? I mean,
That's a really good question.
do I want to be the asshole that says you can't have Venom without Spider-Man?
Do you? Well, every now and then,
Because
I like to have a jelly on toast or peanut butter on toast. But they're always best when I put them together and have peanut butter and jelly.
I know, because you want them both, don't you?
Yeah. So here's how I would do
We
it.
want the Spider-Man and we want the Venom.
They can do a Venom movie, but Spider-Man has to make an appearance, right?
Yes.
He has to make at least a appearance.
So we're going back to the Iron Fist series. No backstory. It's just like Spider-Man just shows up for no apparent
Do we
reason.
need a backstory though?
For Venom?
I guess like he's
Sony does, because like you
Sony
just said, without Marvel, because this is Sony's standalone Venom.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about that for a minute.
So I have no idea how they're going to go about this. I can't even think of a way
Sony-
I would go about this.
Exactly.
They're like,
Gotta
worked
have
so
Spider-Man.
good for Deadpool.
I know. We're just like, oh, it's R-rated. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. It's like, okay, so he's eating brains. Somebody glossed over a comic one time or another. No. Who's playing Venom? Andrew Garfield.
Yes, please. Andrew Garfield would have made a way better, like, bad guy character because he looks cool. He looks like a cool hipster. Like, not like a douchey hipster, but like, you know, he like skateboards, he's got nice hair. He didn't really have that Spider-Man look. He had more like that, like, cool guy. I'm like, maybe head of the track team or something look.
No.
No, it wouldn't work. We need someone buff.
Yeah. Eddie Brock Lesnar. That one,
Well,
Brock
he's a little
Lesnar.
old, don't you think?
Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, isn't he like in his 30s?
No, like playing.
Oh, like he's the guy in the suit.
Like they could like put on the CG over.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then just have like you need a kid who's like cut. Oh, my new favorite show.
Riverdale.
Riverdale. See, you know me, sir. Thank you. I'm blushing right now. Riverdale. Ooh, there's a lot of hunks on that show.
Also, I have to note something. I haven't really watched, but I watched a thing about it because it's another CW show, so it doesn't get put on.
It's Berlanti Kreisberg.
It doesn't get put on Hulu.
It's only in its first season. I'm telling you right now. Oh, the pants are off. I'm
Keep
shooting
those on,
The
sir.
web slinger is not on the wrist.
It seems, from what I've seen, it looks a lot drama-y.
Dude, Riverdale. Okay, you have Archie. You have Veronica. You have Betty. You have Jughead. You have all this. But they put this spin on it. It's like, for instance, Jughead isn't the guy, the goofy guy that, the sidekick that's going around going, oh, can I get a hamburger? Very wimpy-like. He's like the emo type. He watches everybody and then does like a blog, and he's now writing for the paper. It starts out with a dead body.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they're doing like it's a whole murder mystery type thing, and everybody's got a very Twin Peaks.
Okay, that sounds a lot more interesting because I didn't really watch anything. I saw just like snippets and clips, and I was just like, this looks way too serious to be Archie.
Okay, don't listen to me because I love Archie, old Archie. Everybody, it's like, oh, what comic universe? If you had to pick one, I'd live in Riverdale. But then I saw
except that one, except those 2 times.
And then I turned it on. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I want to watch Riverdale. And it kicks off with a dead body. I'm like, I don't want to live in Riverdale.
Is this when Punisher came to town?
Yeah.
Is this Afterlife?
I don't want I'm a huge Kiss fan. I don't want Kiss in Riverdale. I don't want the Punisher in Riverdale. I definitely don't want the Predator in Riverdale.
Then you also have, Archie Afterlife with the zombies.
I don't want the
No zombies.
Want the zombies. I just want Riverdale. All right. But this show is great, and it draws you in, and it's like a whodunit type thing. And it's like, and just what do you think? You're like, oh, next episode. Next episode. It's good.
Right on.
It is good, and it's got Archie and
Anyways, we're running a little short on time.
Damn it!
So
don't get me started on Riverdale.
We will save that for another episode.
Riverdale rules.
What character would you have play Eddie Brock? What person from Archie were you thinking?
The Asian American kid who everybody would probably say should have played Danny Rand, but he plays Reggie on Riverdale. He could play Eddie Brock.
All right.
I'll ripped.
Find a picture.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I got a picture. That's my screensaver.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm showing some sass today, people.
Showing a little too much sass and a little too much ass.
The whip.
He can't keep his pants on.
The whip.
All right. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Comment on my web shooters.
So tiny. Compact, even. Don't forget to press that bell icon. And so you'll be updated you will get notifications for all our uploads. So thank you guys for tuning in as always, and
have a day.